they're using.
Okay,
They're
it's,
using the money for her and.
November the 22nd, Saturday.
Alan to go to
And Isaac and Emily are decorating the tree.
Disney.
You need a scholarship money to go to Disney World?
Well, I think it was because they had already, it's for next semester, and they had already budgeted to spend like that money, and so they like are treating it as a little bit extra that they have. They're not like using the scholarship money.
So like
They're using the fact that they like,
out money.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just amazed at how loose the scholarship money is.
Yeah, they just write you a check.
Yeah,
Basically, yes.
yeah, I thought we were gonna
Pretty
have
sure
to keep track of
people
every
are
nickel,
saying
dime, and
that.
quarter.
I think I can actually reach the top of the tree. I can't. I
Well,
couldn't like put the angel on, so I can reach the
Somebody
top
here
ranges.
could reach the top of the tree, but if you want to, there's a student.
I think everybody could with that.
Everybody could, yeah. And you know, we have those glass icicles someplace, so you have to
Yes.
look for those.
What if it doesn't have a properly try and do one?
Oh yeah.
I think it's becoming a lost art.
You know, I think it's coming back a little bit. I know.
Oh, hey, I think I found him.
I know a lot of girls in college who are like, because scarves are
Bicycles?
really in, you know?
Yeah, I
So
found
they're
it.
like,
What do you mean you found him?
I pulled out the top layer and I dug down and I found them.
You didn't announce that you
And
found
I
him.
put them up there where
So
people
you
of
must
lesser
not have done it.
Yeah,
intelligence.
as far as I know, I found him. Now the whole room knows that they're here and it's because of me.
I'm trying to make you look good, but
no,
no,
you can
I
put
don't
them on
know.
whatever.
What?
Just try to like evenly split them.
Definition of ornament.
That can hang on a tree.
That is not the definition.
What is it? Tell me the
It's a
Webster
decoration.
definition of ornament.
I don't know what the Webster definition of ornament is, but ornament is not specific to Christmas. Unless it is a Christmas ornament.
Okay, well that is not a Christmas ornament.
Well, it is a Christmas ornament. It's not a Christmas tree ornament.
I'm gonna put
Well, actually, no, Santa's on it. It is a Christmas.
Why did I invite you?
I don't know. So I can get a free meal.
Shall I build a cheery fire?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Better be cheery though. I don't want no bonfire.
I pushed the extra cheery button.
Good.
You guys are still planning on coming to the matinee of my show, right? On Sunday?
Yeah. But are you getting us tickets?
I have reserved you tickets. They're $2 each, so be sure to make a little bit of cash.
Yeah, I'm gonna afford to go.
$2.
I warn you guys, it's a really, really weird show.
Yeah. I read
And
that.
a really dark show.
Are you pleased with how it turned out?
So far, yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near done. I mean, we're close to done, I guess. Yeah.
Have you come across any internships for summer?
Most places don't release information about their summer internships until January. So I've found a bunch of websites that I want to go back to in January. And
Hang on. Where's the degrees? This is a social dinner.
we can talk at dinner.
Can't listen
Yeah,
to
let's
the
do
answer.
that. Make notes so I can.
It's good.
Oh well.
State your name and
Little
age.
gifts back here.
Yeah.
Those are for you and Miranda and Richie.
Okay.
And there's no names on them.
Okay.
So it's all the same thing. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not quite the same thing.
Okay.
So is this it, Nora? Or
No,
do
the
we
corn's
start?
coming up.
Let's start dishing up. The corn's got a couple of minutes.
Don't have to tell me.
Well, happy
twice.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Turkeys.
These meatballs are a lot
5
easier.
meatballs mix, right?
Yep,
I'm not sure that's true.
yes. There's 20,
Well,
yeah, there's 21 meatballs. So you're gonna have to split the last one 4 ways.
well, I'm gonna eat less than 5 because I always tend to overeat.
Oh, this is what I should have done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, stop.
Hold on.
I'll do it backwards. I'll just cake on the potatoes over there.
There.
And I'll dig it in.
That won't work.
Excavation.
So take the potatoes.
Hey, it's a good break from the monotony to come. We're going to 3 Thanksgivings in one day.
I figured you were. That's why
And only one of them is mine.
That's, oh. Oh, you're not going to all your mom's stuff?
I'm not gonna go to my grandpa's, so that just leaves my grandma's. It's still like a little bit too hot to eat, but it's so good that I'm eating it anyway.
Well, heaven forbid, don't let it cool.
I won't. Don't have to worry about that.
You couldn't get napkins with a little Swede on them or something?
No. But if you just turn off the fan, that would be less noise.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. The corn is very hot.
Said you weren't gonna let it cool. Keep eating.
Not this stuff. The corn
You
is
gotta let
like
that cool too.
sweltering hot.
Sweltering.
Yes.
Actually, it was boiling. Things still okay with the house? Any new adventures?
My house?
Your house.
Every day is an adventure at my house.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
I don't know. Nothing notable. We have fun.
Basement hasn't flooded, has it?
Mm-mm. No. He replaced the sump pump once, and apparently the one he bought was like faulty or whatever. And,
Yeah, I heard this. It was running all the time.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
running all the time.
And he replaced it again. He replaced it again, and we haven't had issues.
Yeah.
Try to adapt to somebody new.
Our only issues have been the fact that Richie doesn't have a car, which causes. I mean, she works long enough away that she can't really realistically walk. Like, she was biking to work just fine, but now that it's getting cold, she tends to like wake one of us up in the morning now to take
She
her to
told
work.
me she was gonna get a car soon.
When did she tell you that?
I don't know, like someone was buying her a car and we're giving
She
her
told
a
me
car.
that her mom was giving her a car, and that just didn't really happen. I don't know if it still is supposed to. I don't know. Miranda doesn't have as much of an issue about it as I do, so I think she's been asking Miranda a lot more recently. But that's the only point of tension we've really had.
There's no bus transportation out to where he works.
I'm sure she could take one of the city buses, but I don't know where the closest stop is to our house. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are like, she knows that there are possibilities, she just isn't actually looking into them.
It's easier to just ask.
Yeah. Which is what bothers me. Or like, get a job closer. I don't know. She's a manager at Burger King, so like,
Oh,
I understand
yeah.
why
She's a
she
manager?
stays there. Yeah, she's a manager.
Yeah, that's hard to walk away from.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, as a host at Olive Garden, I still get paid, I think like 10 cents more per hour than she does, you know? So she could find like a decent job somewhere else and still make the same amount of money.
But she doesn't have the power.
The power.
Of being a manager.
Oh, that's true.
What made part of the theater department is she in?
She's not.
Oh,
She's a psychology major. She was like a theater. She was a theater double major last year, but she's not anymore.
Yeah, I guess we thought you guys were all theater.
No, I mean she's still kind of a theater person.
that's how you met her though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. She still hangs out with all of us. It's weird though because Miranda's got this second friend group that's all these like frat guys. And then Richie's got this second friend group that she plays Dungeons and Dragons with, which is like super nerdy. So we all have a lot in common, but also a lot of differences.
Well, you don't have a second friends group, do you? You're just all theater people.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean like, Miranda's invited me to hang out with her friends a lot of times and they're fine guys. I just, 9 times out of 10 don't feel like hanging out. Like I would rather hang out with my close friends than them. So I'm fine with it.
Did she have somebody from high school that she knew that was in the fraternity? That got her
No, I
into
think
it?
what happened was there was one guy who was a theater minor last year, and so she knew him from our aesthetics class, and then through him she just met a bunch of other people, and a lot of them live together. Like there's like 2 of them that live together, and then 2 of them that live across the street. So they're all just kind of a group.
Do you know what sororities are on campus?
I know nothing about Greek life. I know that I don't want to be a part of it. That's about as far as it goes. So should we wait till Christmas to open those, or should we like?
Well, you're not gonna be together for Christmas, so.
No, but we're having a house family Christmas. Should we wait till then?
You can do whatever you wanna do.
Okay.
How's your new phone working out?
I love it. I really thought I was gonna hate the size. I thought that was gonna be my least favorite thing about it, but I actually really like it.
Don't smoke potatoes?
No.
You think Grandma ought to get one?
I think so. I mean, there's not a whole lot different. You probably need my help getting it all set up the way your old one was, but as soon as you have it set up, there's not a lot of difference. It's got the Touch ID for the thumbprint reader thing. But the biggest difference
Meaning
is
you
just
don't
that
have to
it's,
type in
Mhm.
a
It'll just
numerical
scan
code?
your thumbprint.
So you turn it on, push the button, put your thumb over the sensor, and that's it?
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
And does it really, other people's thumb?
No,
don't work?
and
You tried
you
it?
can put more than one thumbprint in, so like, I have both my thumbs because they're the same, but they're different enough that sometimes it like won't read one, and I've got my index finger on both hands too, so that I can just touch
Well,
it.
so you can do multiples.
Mm-hmm. You can put as many as you want in.
Well, my biggest problem right now is it frequently says no SIM card. I have to turn the phone off and turn it on again.
I didn't think iPhones had SIM cards.
Well, they've got.
Or they
SIM
have like
card or-
internal
or
SIM
an- Or an
cards.
equivalent, every phone does. Really, there aren't operational features though?
Not really. I'm trying to think. I'm so used to it now that it's tough to think about what's actually different.
It was a month ago.
No, I know.
She
But that's what I'm
uses it
saying,
that
is they're similar enough that like, I'm trying to think if there's anything different enough that it could,
So what
Sure,
is the
yeah.
advantage of it if they're so similar?
it's bigger is the biggest advantage I've found.
Which you like.
Yeah, one thing that you would probably notice is that on this one, the voice command, like if you are speaking a text, rather than hearing it all and like spitting it out, it types as you talk. So if it makes a
Oh, you
mistake,
didn't
you
like
can
my
turn it off.
Samsung did from the beginning?
They went really
Oh,
galaxy with it, honestly. The buttons on the side is the same shape, the same size. It's kind of ridiculous.
So I read something interesting the other day, which you guys won't care about, but I thought it was fun anyway.
Okay.
You know the Android operating systems?
Yeah.
They're all
Ice cream sandwich,
They're all native desserts.
or candies,
Yeah.
but they're alphabetical.
Are they really? I didn't notice that.
Ice cream sandwich, jelly bean,
Uh-huh.
Kit Kat, lollipop.
What was the first one?
I don't know what it was, but
Because I know there was
but that's
one-
gone all the way back. What
Yeah,
was
there's
before
one that
ice
was
cream sandwich?
gingerbread. I know.
Well, in the order, yeah, what was H?
Hot cross buns. I
It's
don't know.
not a candy. But anyway, that's it, stupid.
Interesting.
What is a candy that's
Wait, is cookies Apple or is it Android?
cookies?
Because you know how you have to like delete your like cookies is part of like.
Cookies is.
Oh,
part
that's
of
just
the
what they
internet.
call those
Is
little,
it?
those
Yeah.
little bits of programs.
Oh.
It's just tagged so that whoever puts the cookie on there knows where you're going on your phone or on the computer.
Mhm.
Or where you've been.
I always thought cookies were just a little bit of information that the browser will remember. Because when I worked at Olive Garden, I would log into
So obnoxious.
my dish on my phone, which is where you look at your schedule, and sometimes I would try to log in and it wouldn't log in. It said that I'd already been logged in or something, and I want to go to the website and I'd have to delete my cookies in order to re-log into it.
It's really obnoxious, actually.
Yeah, in general, a cookie is just a little bit of information, but
Yeah.
what it's
It's not
typically
really
used
seen
for
how you do it on
is
the phone.
to track you or your history. Hey, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Isaac,
Hmm?
you should eat at least a couple more.
Oh man, I don't know if I can.
One more then.
Oh, I will eat one.
Okay, but you'll have to have
I'll
some.
have to do it the right way.
Okay, I'll go get the rest of the gravy.
Yeah, we should have some more
I
gravy.
can get it.
Okay, thanks.
Can you?
Mhm.
Thanks.
There's
Can I
rubber
steal the bowl
spatulas
from
in the drawer if you need them.
Get enough so that Isaac could have 3 or 4. Well,
I've already had my fill.
huh?
I could not eat that many more. I feel satisfied.
There's not really enough for that much.
Okay,
4 is really much.
bring him what there is.
There we go.
Unless I would eat.
I might sort of be kidding, but maybe I'm not.
I haven't looked particularly, but I haven't run across phone covers
Oh, they're out
for 2014. Have you looked at the t-shirts?
I haven't, I want to.
They're terrible.
Really? Have you seen the Marilyn Monroe one? Where she's wearing, it's like a classic Marilyn picture where she's like pulling down her shirt a little bit, but she's wearing a t-shirt that says Mad Bum on it. I think it's pretty cool.
I haven't seen that.
It just popped up as an ad on my Facebook one day, so I don't know if it's like an official shirt, but.
Did you see Bumgarner on the Jimmy Kimmel show?
Mm-mm.
No, it's funny.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
I'm sure.
Kimmel mentioned to him that he had a truck. Kimmel had a truck. The country boy, Bumgarner goes, "Oh, what kind of truck you got?" "I've got an F-150. "Oh, that's a pretty good truck." And they started talking trucks. And he's the hero of the World Series and the MVP and all that. They're talking about, what do you haul in your truck? Bumgarner was given a Chevy truck as the MVP thing.
Really?
Yeah, he wanted a tractor.
He wanted to ride a tractor in the parade and they wouldn't let him.
No, he wanted to ride a horse.
Oh, horse, oh,
I thought he did.
yeah.
I read somewhere that he did.
No, they wouldn't let him.
Huh.
He was on one
Which
of
is
those.
surprising because they did have horses in the parade
Yeah,
right at the beginning.
but
right at
think of the
beginning.
liability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to ride one of those police horses. There's an
Oh.
equestrian unit. Well, I might actually have a t-shirt for you.
Yeah.
The Chronicle was selling a package of the special sections and the front pages and stuff that they had published during the playoffs for World Series. So I bought it,
Mm-hmm.
and it came with a t-shirt.
Oh.
I haven't opened it yet, which I didn't want the t-shirt, but maybe you do.
Okay. I'll look at it.
For a sleeping shirt, if nothing else.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I've got a billion of those, so I need to start buying like t-shirts that I will actually wear.
Mm.
Because I just sleep in all my t-shirts now.
Oh, I haven't found any of the, I didn't see a single one with a trophy on it. I wondered when it had all the trophies for each of the 3 years.
I bet in the next couple weeks as it gets closer to Christmas. I did see one that had 10, 12, 14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
that's,
seen
that's
some.
recent too.
Uh-huh. So I'm sure they're coming out with more all the time as it gets closer to Christmas.
So you have your Christmas list?
Not yet. I will. I'm very busy. I will. Honestly, I have very little that I really need. The biggest thing I was going to ask you guys for, and I don't even know if I can get it, because I haven't done all the research on it. I really want a remote start for my car. And I haven't done a ton of research on if my car is too old or, you know, what it would take to get that. But that's the big thing.
Yeah.
And then I was just gonna find some World Series stuff really, and maybe some albums. And that's about it.
Well, you mentioned that you wanted single act plays or something.
I do. I want plays. I want a lot of plays.
Well, put those on your list so we
Okay.
don't forget.
I will. I'm probably gonna put some albums, some World Series stuff, those, and just like a list of,
Nothing for the house?
not really, just probably a list of gift cards, honestly. One of which might be,
How about some toilet paper?
you know what, I would probably be excited if I opened a toilet paper. We've run out twice now and gone, the first time we went a month without toilet paper. The second time we only went about 3 days because I was not about to let that happen again.
It's like when Lori got the self-closed toilet seat. I've rarely seen her so happy about a gift.
I had a moment last year, his dad last year, I can't find them anywhere now, but got me a big thing of Tupperware. And I got really excited and then I was like, dang it, I'm an adult. I just got really excited about getting Tupperware for Christmas.
Yeah.
Should I warm up dessert or no?
Sure.
Wait, okay.
No, we're not waiting. Are we?
Do what you want. There's some Ben & Jerry's ice cream if you want to go with dessert.
We could do that.
So my red velvet cookies are a little bit overdone because they're,
So before you ever serve them, you're gonna start
no,
making
they're
apologies?
still good, they're good. But they were, this recipe made out of cake batter, and so they never like flattened out. So they just looked like balls of dough, so I kept just cooking more and more, because I was like, they're not cooking. But then I finally got them out, and they actually were cooked, they just never flattened out like cookies.
I don't think I want any, thanks.
Well, I made other stuff too.
They don't sound that good.
I made other stuff.
I've kind of lost my appetite.
Probably some stories about
You should have seen the day that she was making cookies in the microwave. She'd just take cookie dough and put it on a plate and put it in.
That was Miranda's fault. We had a tub of cookie dough, and she said, "I wonder if we can make cookie dough in the microwave."
You should have seen them
And
try
it
to
was-
convince me that they were good.
And it was one of the first days we had our house, and I was like, "This is the kind of thing that happens when you have your own house. You have these crazy ideas, and you can test them."
Yeah.
How'd it work out?
I mean, it made kind of like a big hot pile of cookie dough.
Yeah,
Hard on the outside and
So
soft
was-
on the inside, huh?
it was soft on the outside.
So how'd it work out, was my question.
It was like cookie
I didn't
soup.
think they were bad. I
Did
thought
you-
that
did
If I
you
was
ate 'em?
the one that bothered
Yeah.
putting them in the microwave,
you couldn't
I'd
like
eat the dough.
scrape them off and like put a bunch of cookies in a pile. But if you just like wanted to treat, you could make a big cookie on a plate in the microwave. It was not as bad as Isaac makes it sound,
It's pretty bad.
is the point.
But it was not as good as baking them in an oven.
Well, no, but it was also a lot faster.
All right.
30
So-
seconds.
You like it?
So it's got marshmallow and,
It's
Cinnamon
so
sugar.
so you take the croissant and lay it out, and you sprinkle cinnamon and sugar on it, and then you take marshmallows and chocolate chips and roll it up inside, and then once it's done, you put chocolate syrup over. I think it would be better with like melted chocolate so that it like hardens on top, but I'm in rehearsal all day, and I said I'd make stuffing, and I bought this instant stuffing mix. Like it shouldn't be
Yeah,
hard.
you make
Would you
stuffing.
be willing to make it? I don't even like stuffing, but nobody had signed up to make stuffing. So I
because
just
nobody
made
likes stuffing.
No, there were a few people who were like, "We need stuffing," and I was like, "I don't want
I like
to. I don't want
stuffing.
to make it."
I love stuffing.
Mm.
Have you guys ever made stuffing like in the turkey while you're supposed to?
Yeah, I used to.
No, yes,
I've never
Ooh,
done
my
that.
goodness.
not for years, so.
Yeah, I quit doing it because there was so much talk about the juices of the raw chicken, or the raw turkey, contaminating the
But you cook it, right?
yeah, but there was a big problem. So then
There
I
was
got,
some health issue.
yeah, so then
It
I
was
got
just an excuse for her not to do that.
So then I got a
stuff
bag
is
that you
stuffing.
put the stuffing in and you put the bag in.
Oh, wait, yeah, I've seen those.
So that the juices, you know, once they're cooked, they're going through the bag. I almost have to guess that people were stuffing their turkeys and letting it sit too long before they started cooking them.
Mhm.
Was it here that I had cranberry sauce for the first time?
Probably.
When it came out of a can, and
Mhm.
just cut it up. I think I liked it.
I don't like cranberry
I think I
sauce.
actually like
Especially when it comes out looking like the can.
It's so funny.
It's so gross.
A bite of turkey with a bite of cranberry sauce?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was yeah.
I've had like homemade cranberry sauce that I really liked. I think I would like cranberry sauce if it weren't for the fact that it comes out looking like the can and that just grosses me out for some reason.
Someone needs to prepare it elsewhere.
What do you
I know,
mash it
like
up.
just mash it up, I'd be fine.
I don't know what difference that could possibly make.
I don't know.
What would be better?
It's just so unnatural. Not that anything we eat is
Do
particularly
you like
natural.
cranberry sauce that has the berries in it?
I don't know, I haven't tried a lot of cranberry sauce. I bet I would. I like cranberries. I don't know.
Wasn't there one Christmas when somebody gave Lori like 6 cans of,
Yeah, Linda did.
because she liked it so much?
Oh, I'm sleepy now. I got full and I got sleepy.
We got
Mm-mm.
okay.
My goal on Thursday for Thanksgiving is to collect as many leftovers as I can and take them back and not have to cook for a while.
How many Thanksgivings are you doing
3.
on Thanksgiving Day?
Mm-hmm. Only one of them is mine for once.
I'm gonna make sure I wear sweatpants on that day.
So the majority of your family?
Yeah. My grandparents.
Gonna eat 3 Thanksgiving meals, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking to his sister and we were making the plans to go to his mom's and I was like, man, tell your mom not to cook. Like, I can't promise I'm gonna eat that much. And Kara was like, no.
Mama making meatloaf.
No, I know. And Kara was like, no, I told her to just get like snacks and we could just like snack a little bit and play games. And she was like, no, I'm gonna make meatloaf and mac and cheese and all this stuff. And Kara was like, all right, I can't promise it's gonna get eaten, but you can make it.
She'll probably get mad when it does get eaten.
I'm sure.
Well, we'll take it with us.
I will gladly take some of your mom's meatloaf home.
My mom's meatloaf is good. You
It's
remember when she
really
made
good.
those mini meatloafs? I had like
Mhm.
4 of them. I had like a pound of ground beef.
She makes mini meatloafs, but she doesn't like put them in a pan. She just like it's just like kind of a mound of meatloaf. It's very good.
And she like puts ketchup on the top and then cooks it with the ketchup, and the ketchup gets like hard. It's like ketchup icing on this meatloaf cake.
It's like blood, Emily, like blood.
It's fine.
You only don't like cranberry sauce because it looks like a can, but you'll eat meatloaf that has blood on it.
Yeah, and I mean I get my steaks like I get my steaks bloody like that. I don't know, that doesn't bother me. I can't do bones. I can do blood.
Heaven forbid there's some bones in cranberry sauce.
No, I mean like with meat.
How do you feel about muscle?
You will
Tendons.
never experience the fact that
Or
the
arteries.
most flavorful meat is right by the bone.
Do you like,
I don't
do you
care.
like major arteries or just minor capillaries?
I did not ask for this.
Somehow it always gets back to this, doesn't it?
Yes, always.
You're a good sport.
Where do you suppose the bone thing came from, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just because, you know, when you were little, it was like a lot of chicken tenders and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, and pastas.
I think I've got a really like weak gag reflex, and so like it started because whenever I would eat something on the bone, there would be like a little piece of bone in the meat, and if I bit down on it, I would automatically gag really bad.
Did I ever
And
show you
so-
that picture Kara took of the inside of my arm?
Yeah. I told you that doesn't. Looking at it doesn't really bother me.
It doesn't?
I don't wanna eat it.
And
Show
it's
my
about-
staples.
I already saw that.
They stapled you up?
Yeah,
That's-
amazing number of staples.
Where do I have that?
You
on my
couldn't
phone?
see space between them, there were so many.
Really? So it just
Yeah.
like looked like a zipper? Like you zipped
Yeah,
up your leg?
yeah,
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
I don't know why.
They should have just done that, you know?
There's another technique,
Sometimes
technique,
they
and I don't know what
use
determines
glue.
when they use which, but there's a technique where they glue the skin. They glue it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw this thing the other day about this new technology they made, which is this gel that stops bleeding instantly. Like they had this like piece of meat that they funneled like a tube through that like pumped fake blood out of it, but it was like gushing out all this fake blood, and they just squirted the gel on there, and it instantly sealed the thing.
Wow,
It was
That
pretty
would be-
cool.
a
Yeah.
huge advance
Mhm.
medically.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that on the battlefield?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it was
Super
just stop
glue
it.
for
That's
flesh.
People could like carry it around with them.
Yeah. All right.
Good to go.
Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like silicone almost, but
Hmm.
probably not.
But-
I guess that war is just to prove that you're better than someone else, but then
But,
I can
you
just
know,
whittle it down to like
I was
a
telling you,
chest.
I'm reading this book by the
It's to
futurist,
express your religious differences.
by the futurist guy, and if you don't have to be a genius, just look around you and see what's going on, and then just think of, okay, where is that gonna go? So, for example, we're now trying to take ISIS out with drones and stuff like that. So just think, where is that gonna go? Well, one logical place it's gonna go is that warfare will be totally conducted like a video game. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
I think I've seen some science fiction movies about that.
Of course.
Well, actually, science fiction is more truth than future truth.
It's getting there, yeah.
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 Actually, if you look at Star Wars and Star Trek, a lot of that stuff has come true.
We have
Or is-
lightsabers and
or-
They
intergalactic
No,
did.
spaceships
They
and.
have made lightsabers.
No, they haven't.
Like 2 months ago, they made a lightsaber.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Prove it.
But we have, we almost have tricorders, you know, the thing that
Like 75 cents.
Dr. McCoy would, you know,
Oh,
would scan.
well, they have thermometers now that you just push over your forehead.
Well, they have the infrared thermometers that you point a laser at something, it tells you how hot it
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
Your baby sick, point the laser at him.
Yeah. You're a sick baby?
So it's, a good science fiction writer is a fortune teller.
Nostradamus.
When I used to pay attention to what was going on in science fiction and kids read, and then started to watch all
A
the things.
lightsaber. See?
Finally invented the. Wait, what? Is this a credible website? Time? I've never heard of Time. Does it have a video of like this? Okay, well, it's definitely not practical.
What? I didn't say it was practical.
They just made like little particles of it, and it was in a chamber that was only a few degrees above absolute. This isn't a lightsaber. This is not a lightsaber. I win. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the problems I was talking about earlier. You put that in front of your face, you just shut down. She probably doesn't even know we're here right What are you mad at me for?
The kids walk around campus with their phone in front of their faces.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's tell them that. Let's tell them how hard it is to ride a bike around campus.
It's so hard, and people get so mad at people who ride bikes and skateboards around campus because they think it's inconvenient. But if they just paid attention, and people will like try to dodge bikes, but it's like, no, just keep walking. Like,
The bike will dodge you.
I will dodge you.
Yeah.
You moving is going to make this harder. for
No
both of
bike
us.
lanes that you can use.
Just
No.
sidewalks.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
And people use longboards instead of skateboards because apparently skateboarding is illegal in Muncie. Did you know that?
Is that why?
Riding a skateboard is illegal in
What's a
Muncie. If you
longboard?
go, it's just a longer skateboard. If you go on Ball State Parking, if you go on the Ball State Parking page, it'll show, or like Ball State, like parking services, it'll show all the different types of tickets you can get, and the last one says skateboarding.
A longboard
So a
is
long-
basically
so
a
a longer-
skateboard.
But
A longer
technically,
skateboard,
skateboarding
they
is
think it's
illegal.
legal?
Apparently,
I've seen Damani Arnold rolling around on his skateboard.
I know. But
And his
apparently
roller
they do ticket people for it.
That would be lame.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Hey kid, stop! Come back!
Hey, you're not polluting the air. What's the problem here?
It's the man. It's a power thing.
I don't know what it is about phones, but have you ever noticed that when somebody is talking, there's a class of people that do this. They're talking on their cell phone and they just wander aimlessly around. They'll like have, you know, an area as big as this room, and they just pace around it, oblivious to
I don't do it
anybody else.
obliviously, but I pace when I talk on the phone.
I do it too.
Sometimes my mom will call me when I'm like at the store and I just walk up and down aisles because I don't want to just like stand still in the grocery store and talk on my phone because my mom just called me, so I just kind of walk down an aisle so I'm staying moving and not in anybody's way.
Why don't you get the stuff you need in the store?
Well, what's wrong with
I mean,
staying?
if I still have stuff to do, I
What's
will.
wrong with staying in one spot?
You look
Because if you like
a-
stand in front of a shelf, then you're gonna be in
Well, you
somebody's
could stand
way.
off to the side where you're out of the way.
I guess you could.
What's wrong with walking around?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
nothing's wrong with walking around if you're oblivious, but when you're
Oblivious.
Oblivious.
Is oblivious a word?
If I could just
Strive to
jump
be
on the word, I would
oblivious.
start using it all the time.
but if you're oblivious, I guess where this annoyed me the most was airports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
really.
the guy would be
And they talk so
trying to
loud.
impress
like we
you
all
with
wanna
how
know
important
what
he
they're talking
was.
about.
Yeah, talking loud, pacing all over, not oblivious at all, completely oblivious,
The opposite.
and
of
gesturing.
Gesturing? He's putting on a performance?
Yeah, like his phone call was choreographed.
I was also telling him I don't use my phone a lot.
It's annoying. Okay.
See?
You don't have.
I
Right now
I
it's dead.
respect not wanting to use
my
your
phone.
phone a lot. It's when I can't get a hold of you for like 3 days that it becomes a little bit of an issue.
Hey, you can call my friends.
I do. I have to call your roommates to get a hold of you.
And
That's-
it's a system
Your
that
sister,
works.
okay. His sister calls me instead of calling him 9 times out of 10. She called me the other day and I answered and she said, "Hello, is this Isaac's secretary?"
And I appreciate that.
She said, but that time she said she was asking if she called to ask if we could do Thanksgiving at his mom's on Thanksgiving night, and she said, "Yeah, I texted Isaac, and he just said I don't think that far in advance, so I decided to call you."
Seems to work so far.
As long as you have people,
That's
You
true.
don't have to
care of
use that
yeah.
annoying phone at all.
No, I
All
don't.
my
I just
people.
talk to people face to face, and they whittle away on the fancy technology that they need so very much.
yeah, there was a time when people weren't instantly available, you know, and nobody
I know.
got mad.
But I mean, now
Now
you're
you
now,
lose their minds.
now people are available. Like I understand, like they didn't used to be, but people are now. Like everybody is now.
I don't want to be now.
Well, so
Oh,
you kind of have to now.
No.
I mean,
I texted you the other night, and I'm very slow with texting, so it was a long text for me. It was like 3 sentences, you know? And I texted you, and before I could put the phone back, I was just gonna put it in my office. You replied. I said something to Grandma. She's it's so too fast. Can't keep up with her.
I either respond immediately or forget to respond for 3 days. It's
Yes.
usually how my texts go.
Ugh.
Because it usually, like, if you send me something with like a bunch of dates and a bunch of stuff to think about, I'll go, okay, when I have a second, like, I'll look at this. And then I've already read it, so it doesn't pop up as like something to think about and I forget.
My
Well, your phone
big
should be
mistake is
smarter
not
than
to
that.
push send. I'll dictate the text and then I forget to push send.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what happened with the dessert.
Yeah.
I just don't use the thing at all.
Well,
I
you
know.
know, that is a holdover from old technology.
But you are also the person who said, I hate my smartphone. I'm going to downgrade, do a flip phone. And
And then I
then
had to re-upgrade.
you upgraded again because
That's
you
true.
hated it.
I didn't hate it. It's just I needed the smartphone because of the era we live in. And sometimes I'd have to get on Facebook to do things.
Or sometimes you
My
just
favorite
scroll
phone is
through
the flip
Facebook.
phone.
I mean, you've
I mean,
got
I do
apps
now,
on your
now that it's
phone
on
that you
there.
just scroll through and look at funny pictures. Don't act like
I
everybody's
don't have
making you use
I don't
your
have
phone.
that. I don't have that app on my phone. I have a game on my phone that is a mathematical sequence game that I play often, and I have chess. Ooh, I'm fancy.
Mathematical sequence.
No Angry
Yeah,
Birds,
It's
that's,
like it's weird. I can't explain.
Is it an iPhone?
It's a Droid, an LG Optimus Elite.
ooh, sounds
It
fancy.
sounds pretty scary.
It's not platinum though, is it?
No,
Oh, well.
it's black and scratched.
Look at it this way, Isaac, you keep your phone off, you're not utilizing the money that you spend, Ruin, to have that phone.
I don't spend the money. I guess I am kind of wasting it. Oh.
Oh, now he's just gonna get rid of the phone.
I don't know. I could just, I could probably get rid of it, and then I wouldn't need an excuse. I could just say I don't have a phone.
Yeah.
And then everybody would get really mad at you because people need to get a hold of you at some point.
Carry
The thing
pictures.
is, if you're not going to have a home phone, you need to pay attention to your cell phone, is mine. And nobody has a home phone anymore. So you have to pay attention to
Can you
your
still
cell
get a
phone.
home phone?
We have one.
Really?
Mhm.
I want a home phone. How much is a home phone?
I don't know, you guys probably get it with your cable bill, honestly. You just
It's
don't
already
know.
there.
Probably.
I'm gonna get a home phone, and you can call me at home.
Okay.
Okay. And then when I'm out and about, I don't have to worry about people trying to interrupt my day with their needs.
I don't think I could do it on a smartphone, because I use it in ways that I don't even think about anymore. Like, I still don't know how to get around this area very well,
Yeah.
but I don't have to, because I got a phone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why I have one.
The thing that annoys me about the phone is it doesn't give you enough information. The computer gives you more. When you do a search or something.
Really?
I mean, it should be
Yeah,
the same
that's-
browsing
yeah.
experience.
Like,
the same thing.
well, an example
Well, a
would
lot of
be-
websites, well, most websites, there are two versions, a
Yeah.
mobile
Yeah.
and a desktop. or
And
whatever
the
it's called.
mobile is more compact, more.
But that'll go away, those will merge eventually. The first website I ever created, they didn't even have an option for, do you want this to be a mobile site too, and now they all do.
So you got the tree all decorated, now you just gotta give me a Christmas list.
Yeah.
Okay.
The remote start thing, that might be a challenge.
I've
So I
done a
don't
little
know how-
research, but not enough to actually find anything out.
I'll look into it too, but I
Doesn't your
think you
phone
probably.
start your car?
I would like
I think
for
you
it.
ads on
can get an
TV.
app that
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
all the remote, most of the remote starts now are apps rather
Sure.
than actual buttons. I just want so badly to be able to get up in the morning and like start my car while I'm getting ready.
so it warms up,
Yeah,
Well,
especially during this new polar vortex.
yeah, because I have a really bad like the last few days, and it's probably just because it's like newly winter and I'm still getting used to it. I've been a little bit late in the mornings because I just haven't processed yet. Like I have to get up and turn my car on, so then I have to scrape my car off, and it would be great if I did not have to do that.
Well,
Plus-
when you're
plus there's-
living on campus, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Plus, there's very little that especially big things that I just need right now. So I would be asking you guys for very little and not much
It's
variety.
okay, we could give you very little.
I mean, if you would like to, that's fine. I just figured you were gonna want a little more variety in a Christmas list.
There would be something that like plugs into the cigarette lighter and starts.
Isaac,
It's kind of aesthetically pleasing, I think.
Do you?
you never know.
Yeah.
It's a flying saucer.
The latest hat.
That's. I better not.
Well, if you want something really big, this would solve all your problems. Just ask for like a new Lexus.
Oh, okay. So for Christmas, I'd like a
Because
Actually,
when
I
it
kind of just
also
like another RAV4, just like a new one.
well, that's what I'm talking about.
It's
The Lexus makes a version of the RAV4, only it would have remote start, heated seats,
Okay.
cooled seats,
Yeah, that's what I'd like,
heated
guys.
mirrors,
That's what I'd like.
heated mirrors.
Cooled seat sounds like something. I
Wouldn't
want.
we all? I just want a heated toilet seat.
That's all.
That's all I need. I don't need a home or food.
You can tell who's up during the night.
And what she's doing when she gets up.
It's blaring cold at 3 in the morning.
You okay?
I'm sleepy.
You're always sleepy.
Who's driving?
Me.
Probably Isaac, because Dad's calling me on the way home, so.
I put the blanket from the couch in the closet and thought, now this might be stupid. This is gonna come out again.
Your dad's calling in a few minutes.
Is it almost 8?
Almost 8.
Do
So Norma, look, see how you'd like this. The big screen.
you want to see
It's-
how the
it's
touch
easier to see.
how the touch thing works?
Yeah, sure.
It's big.
So I wake it up, put my thumb on it, and it unlocks.
See, I can't do that. Let me try.
Well, you shouldn't be able to unless your thumbprint's been entered.
Try again. It says. Okay.
But you can also
There
still
should be like a,
you can still type in the number if you want to. So like it's a thumbprint thing, because sometimes I'll like the other day.
Fail safe.
The other day, I had just gotten out of the bath and my fingers were prony and it wasn't working. So like I had to
So you have
I
a
had
backup.
put
You
it
can
in
actually type in the whole.
And
number.
whenever you turn on your phone, if it's been off, you have to put in the number rather than just the thumbprint read.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But then after that, you're fine.
Does it take as long to turn on as the iPhone 5?
I don't know. I never noticed an issue with the iPhone 5, so I guess I didn't notice.
I get
anything.
impatient with it.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Let's see how long it takes to turn on. Wait for it to turn all the way off.
Spinning circle.
This is exciting.
Oh, it's a side button now, huh?
I don't think it's all the way off. Oh no, it's not all the way off yet. Now that we're reading, it's gonna seem like it takes forever.
yep,
That's the way I feel about
go ahead, let's take forever.
mine, yeah.
Jeez.
That might even be longer than mine.
I also have a lot more on my phone. You know, I've got 128 gigs, so.
It's a lot of gigs.
Is it still there?
That's what you gotta do. You just gotta drop it on.
Did you get a case?
You're good.
Or have you
I
not?
did. I got a case.
Is it clear? Is that what I'm
It's
looking
clear,
at?
yeah, and it's got blue. It's just kind of rubbery. I didn't get a nice one, but my phone came so much earlier than I thought it would. So I kind of I didn't want to activate it until I got a case.
Well, so maybe you have cases on your Christmas.
Maybe I do, yeah.
Maybe a Giants case.
Maybe.
Oh, you could have all kinds of Giants or World Series
I'm
cases
sure I
for an
could.
iPhone 6. Yeah, that's mostly what they have,
Mhm.
actually. But you might not want to make
How come it doesn't
that
select?
statement with your phone.
I only have one page because I have everything put into folders.
Oh. You're much more organized than I am.
I wasn't on my old one, but I got this one and it was like, make folders. And I said, okay.
So it's just like a computer. You have category, like you might have games.
Mhm.
There's one folder and all your games
Yeah, I
are in
can-
that folder.
I can show you.
Oh, or social networking is in one.
You can read
Shopping
folders.
is one.
I have an entire folder for food.
I have like a shopping folder, a
So I
games
got-
folder, and
I got like a utilities folder.
yeah.
And then This is stuff that Apple puts on there that I'm just not really gonna use. So I just put it in a folder. Shopping, social media,
Well, okay,
baking.
you think that's more efficient
Video.
than swiping between,
It's more
Pages?
organized.
Yeah, because when you swipe, it's hard to look at all those apps and find the one that you want.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
not
it
any-
wasn't.
And they change on, I don't know about your phone, but they change positions on mine every once in a while. Like my texting,
You might
Right.
accidentally do
will
that.
jump someplace else.
Because you can do, if you hold this down, no, not there. How do you, oh, if you double tap, no, not if you double tap, how
No,
do you?
if you hold it down.
Yeah, you hold it down.
Yeah, there
You
go.
can like change the order of where things are.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
know
so you
that.
might just accidentally do that. I've accidentally done it before.
yeah, I can't believe it changes on its own. Well,
But for
that's
example, like,
interesting, I hadn't thought about that, but I know where my icons are.
well, no, I do too. But for example, for me, like, I rarely play games, but I've got a bunch of them. And so having them in their own folder kind of out of the way makes sense because I'm not,
I like that,
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Like I've got all the San
But
Francisco
the,
transportation
but
in one
the way
folder.
I've got my phone organized is the stuff I use the most, it's on the first page, and I
Yeah.
know where it is.
That's how I had my old one.
So folders wouldn't help me.
Well-
But things that I don't use very often, that would be,
But like
And
San
also-
Francisco transportation, I had, the different muni things and all that.
yeah,
And so that's all in one folder.
Well, and
That's
also
a
on
good-
my
that's a
on
good
my
idea.
old phone, I didn't
That's a
have
good
that many
idea.
apps, so it wasn't a big deal to not have them organized. But now that I've got 128 gigs, I'm downloading apps more freely, and so I've got more, and so it just makes sense to organize them a little bit more.
yeah. Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That really isn't as big as my screen, is it?
I
Yeah, I
have no
think so.
idea how big your screen is.
Your phone feels bigger to me.
The new Samsungs are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might as well have a tablet.
Mine is pretty small by comparison.
But I mean, I don't. If you look at it, obviously mine's set up differently than yours. just 'cause
Do
it's my
something
phone.
where I can see the type.
Okay. Let's go to like this news site that I showed Isaac. So like the text, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, that's bigger.
Yeah.
There is a way on mine that I can make the text bigger.
Oh,
I mean, you
guess-
can zoom
I guess
in
my
usually,
screen is
yeah.
wider, but not as long.
And yours is thicker.
Well, my phone is definitely thicker. These iPhones,
Or
yeah,
thin.
see, I'm just looking at the viewing area, not the phone itself. So mine's a little bit wider, but I think it's a little bit longer too. So it's a little bit bigger. But that's a much better size than the old ones.
And then
Yeah, that's much more readable.
if you want to see like the keyboard, here it is.
That's comparable, I think. No,
Oh,
it's
I bet
and-
that's- I
and
bet that's
comparable
way-
to mine if you turn it on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet that's way bigger than.
Well, and
yours.
here's another cool thing. If you start to type, oh wait,
Uh-huh.
I have it turned off. Let's see. If you start to type, it makes suggestions as you're typing. So like this is
Oh, you
like
mean
how I
Samsung
usually.
has done from
No,
the
okay,
beginning?
the iPhone 5 does that too, but this is an upgrade to it. It's
It
more
does it in a
intuitive.
more, yeah. And so it also has learned like if there's a sentence that I write a lot, it'll like suggest the next
Oh,
one.
you mean like my Samsung stuff? No, I actually not from the beginning, but fairly early on, I downloaded this program called SwiftKey,
Mm-hmm.
which does all that.
Yeah.
It's really it, and it's heuristic, so it
Mhm.
learns.
Well, and
It's
then
very good.
if you want to like dictate a message.
But Emily, sorry, that was built into the iOS, right?
Yeah.
Right from the get go.
Yeah. So like it types as you're talking. So if you wanted to, hi, how are you doing?
Oh, that's cool.
Did it get? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That would really help because I get tired of it not it's not typing out exactly what it says. They have to get the little cursor to go right back. So.
Mhm. Well, and then you can, if you do that, and say you say something and realize that it screwed up, you can hit done in the middle, backspace, and then just keep going.
And fix it on the fly, I mean.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, my fix it is always after I've done the whole text and I look back and think, oh crap.
Yeah, so on this one, you just talk a little slower and let it catch up to you as you're going. You can fix it as it happens.
Hello. Pre-Thanksgiving, we're sitting here around the table. I'm putting you on speaker.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're here.
Hi.
Isaac, I think
Hey,
Isaac.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, okay, you know. Yeah, are you guys eating?
We
No.
just finished.
Oh, good, okay, so my timing is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
They kissed the cook, there's not a bit left.
What'd you say, Mom?
I said they kissed the cook, there's not a bit left.
Oh, okay.
And Emily,
Swedish meatballs, I can't imagine why there would be anything left.
yeah. And Emily provided the dessert.
Oh, what'd you bring, Ann?
I made red velvet cake cookies and I made s'mores croissants.
And what croissant?
S'mores?
Oh, yum.
Yeah, so it was like cinnamon and sugar on a croissant with chocolate chips and marshmallows rolled up in them.
Oh.
It was really easy. It
This
was,
recipe, and you will have some for me at some point.
oh yeah, it was way easy and I was really impressed with how good it was. I thought it was gonna be kind of like, this is pretty good, but they're pretty darn good.
Did you get it off Pinterest or something?
Yeah, I did.
I figured you might have.
That's where I got the red velvet cake cookies too.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, man, yeah, save those recipes. That sounds like I wanna have that.
I will. They were both easy too. They were very, very easy.
That's the best kind.
Yep.
Cool, okay, good. So did you open presents yet?
What?
Thanksgiving presents?
Just kidding.
No, but she and Isaac decorated, the tree for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Is Isaac there?
Yeah, he's in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. How's the tree look?
It looks okay. It looks good. I mean,
Oh, nobody's raving about it.
well, it's a tree. When you get to looking at the details of it, it is quite a bit nicer than our other tree. But you know, once you get it's all lighted and you get all the ornaments on, it's really hard to tell. You could put up a green pipe cleaner there, and it would be about the same thing. But this tree, the old tree would have like a rod, branch, quote unquote, coming out from the trunk
Right?
with just the bristle things on it.
Yeah.
Well, this one has a rod, a branch that comes out from the trunk, and then that branches into two other branches.
Oh,
And then the tips, not the interior stuff are still the bristle things, but the tips are actually molded from, they say, a real tree. So the outside of it looks very realistic.
oh,
You know.
that's cool.
Well, it's cool. I think the coolest things are the
Lights
LED.
look good?
Huh?
Do the lights look good?
The lights look very good.
The lights are LEDs,
Right.
and you can make them change colors and stuff, but we just got them on multicolor steady.
So you said it has a twinkle setting. Is that like the random twinkle?
No,
No,
they all blink on and off at once. It's really not attractive.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why they even make lights like that.
Well, because they can't do otherwise. To get them to twinkle randomly, you have to build that into the bulb currently. And so,
Can you get trees that do that?
well, maybe, but see, there's like 800 lights on this tree. So you just can't run 800 wires just for control, You got enough wires just to power the things up.
we could add strings of lights to it to twinkle.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know you can do that.
But we're not going
Buy
to.
more every year, just in case they're gonna not be available next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I love those. Those are my favorite kinds of lights.
They're hard to find.
Look,
Well, Lowe's always has them.
Yeah?
Has had them for the last bunch of years.
look at the lights go on and on.
If you're decorating your house
Yeah.
and want to use some Christmas stuff of mine, you're welcome to.
Okay, I don't know if we are because I'm not sure how much we're all going to be home. I know Miranda's going to be home all break, but But I'm planning on going home a bit, and I think Richie is too. So I know we've got like a little Christmas tree, and I think we're gonna hang stockings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, it's there for you if you want it, the light.
Okay, yeah.
You say it's there for her, but I do not know where it is.
Okay,
And there's a considerable mound of stuff in the basement.
the green and red bins, I went down to look so I could get some of your ornaments.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they are at the bottom of the stacks of things. They're where you can see, they're where you can see them, but I would have had to move too many things.
Well, if you can see them, I could get to them. I wasn't thinking, you know, when I stacked that stuff, I should have been thinking in terms
Well,
of,
yeah, you may want to, I mean, I hate to have you do this, but some of those, a few of those Christmas things are ornaments and the bins are very light.
yeah.
If there's heavy stuff stacked on top of them,
Oh,
Oh, there,
they'll be crushed.
no, there probably isn't. I was pretty careful about that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But what I wasn't careful about, well, in some cases I was, but in a lot of cases I wasn't, was, you know, putting the stuff in the middle of the pile where I couldn't get to it. It might be near the top, but it's in the middle where I can't get to it.
Right. Well, yeah,
Anyway, we're doing fine.
some of those ornaments are precious, you know?
Oh, yeah, well, they're not
Stuff you can replace, but, you know.
they're not gonna get destroyed, don't worry.
well, at some point I'll take pictures of everything and put them on the computer.
At some point.
At some point. Right now, you can't even step around in my office.
Yeah, that at some point list is pretty long, you know, isn't it?
It's gotten shorter because my sticky notes on the computer disappeared. I had to start my list all over again.
Hey, that's a great idea for a to-do list.
I have no idea what was on there.
I said, you're getting better night's sleep.
That was a one in a row. I did not sleep well last night.
Well, yeah, but you've had a couple recently.
I have 2 in 2 weeks, I think.
Well, it's better than
Yeah,
before, right?
yeah. But the thing is, it's not just my leg that I had surgery on that bothers me. The other one is really much worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If I move at night, I have to wake up and move my leg myself.
Yeah.
Well, that gives you hope for the other one when you get it done.
Yep.
Then it'll be better.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it, I think.
Yeah, there you are. There you are.
Mixed feelings, you know?
The goal is to run to our seats in section 314, row 8.
Up the stairs and everything.
Fortunately, marathon season is until next summer.
She'll be ready. She'll be ready.
Yeah, yeah, good, good. Well, at least it's getting a little better and hopefully, hopefully you're on the downhill slide with at least the one way.
Well, I know when we see you this time, it won't be so hard to sit.
Well, good.
The back of my leg isn't nearly as sore.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah,
That was a major problem.
yeah, it was a very good thing.
That's definitely a major problem.
Well, Kenny, it went to 50 degrees here today and all the snow is gone. How about up there?
Oh, yeah, we're in the middle of the big melt.
Uh,
It was nice today. It wasn't sunny, but it was a lot warmer.
a lot
Yeah,
warmer.
here too. I mean, it was still cold, but it wasn't painful and frigid.
You didn't go outside and do the track, did you?
No, no. I'm gonna beg off of that unless there's a reason or unless it's sunny and warm.
Do you have to walk outside from the rec area back to the unit?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that could be, when you're all wet from being on the treadmill, that could be.
Yeah, but you're also really hot. And
It's only 3 minutes.
so
Yeah.
a short walk like that actually feels pretty good.
Sometimes stepping outside right after you've worked out is actually really nice.
Yeah, even when it's in the 30s, it feels really good.
Mhm.
I can sit and read a book for 20 minutes and feel wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah, drippy and wet, but in a t-shirt and shorts, it feels really good.
Are you ready for me to send any more books?
I just started the McCartney book, so maybe yeah, because that one's a hard one to carry around.
Yeah.
And I'm a little tired of carrying, large and/or oddly shaped books around.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to have been alive when the book was published.
Well, there are several Hans Baumans. It's not that unusual a name.
Yeah.
But really the only one that's an author is the guy who died in 1988. So I'll do some more looking, but I'm thinking that some right-wing organization has, I'm thinking that some right-wing organization has sort of commandeered his identity and is using him as a cover. I don't really have evidence of that, but it's just, it's very fishy so far what I'm finding.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, I can't vouch for the accuracy of everything in the book. I just noticed those few things.
Well, but look, I mean, if he's a climate denier and he thinks the Civil War was about taxes and not slavery, he's got some kind of a screw loose or some kind of agenda someplace.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
so just read him with a big grain of salt.
Oh, I am. He's just someplace to put my eyes. Once of the day, you know what I mean? So, it's fine. I see why it looked interesting. I see why you thought of him, because it should have been interesting.
Yeah,
But you never know what you're going to buy, and I hope you didn't spend real money on it, you know?
I don't.
I hope this was one of the 75-cent books.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing that smells fishy is that it gets very good reviews.
Yeah, that's what I said. I wonder if the reviews are genuine, because
Yeah,
the other thing about it is just chock full of typos.
oh really?
And I never trust books. I mean, you know, not typos that affect the accuracy necessarily, but just spelling errors.
So, you know, that probably means that it's self-published, no editor.
It could be.
Because this is what editors do, among many other things.
Of course, yeah.
Huh.
Even they miss stuff sometimes, but this is just chock full.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a pretty good supply of books
It was
here.
like, it was something that happened in, I don't know, 18 something, and he wrote 19 one time, and I had to go back and go, oh, well, huh.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's a pretty big error.
Yep.
So, yeah, maybe it's self-published. People are doing that these days. So.
Well, most of these oddball books
Before we go any further, Em, I'm calling you later tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay, about, what, 9:45, or you want me to call a little later?
No, 9:45 should be fine. We're leaving here between 9 and 9:30, so really anytime after 9:30 is fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm-
I just wanted to allow you a little time in case you got a little late.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Isaac drive back, so we'll be
Oh,
fine.
good, okay, that's better.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna ask him to drive back.
Hey,
Mm.
I'm gonna have him drive back.
Echo movie here,
What?
remember that? Earth to Echo,
Oh yeah.
not good.
No, I didn't see it.
No, it's
I-
80% Blair Witch Project and 20% E.T. without any of the charm or story.
Yeah, I did go see the new Hunger Games movie last night with Miranda and Richie.
No, was that good?
It was very good. It was very, very good.
Have you seen Interstellar?
I haven't yet. We've a bunch of us have been talking about taking a trip to either the IMAX here or the Indie IMAX and seeing it there. We just haven't really had time when we're all free.
You better do it.
I know. Finding time when we're all free is a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because everybody is just as busy as I
Or
am.
see it twice, you know,
Yeah.
with other people. We can talk about that later.
Mhm.
Okay, well, what else?
Do you want me to send you more if I have a Sarah Val or what
Sure,
do you think?
yeah, she's wonderful.
Okay,
Yeah, she's fun.
okay.
Yeah, whatever, just a mix.
Do you have, did you get Unfamiliar Fishes?
I just, you know, I can't carry those around as easily.
Yeah.
So I like the big books because then I can leave one here and you know, read it at night. So I'll still read them, but,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, of the ones you asked me for, the only reason I haven't gotten something is because it's not in paperback yet.
yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Okay,
but I'll email you and we'll figure out another time to call.
okay,
I'll call you in a little bit now.
Okay.
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 Love
All
you.
right, have a good
Okay.
evening, guys.
Love
Yeah.
ya.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.